Hi everyone, I'm Neil. Today I'm gonna introduce you a book named A Little Princess written by Frances Hodgson Burnett. It's about a girl who went to England for education when she was 7. Her father was a very rich businessman in India, and he loved to treat his precious little daughter so well. When they arrived at school, which was in London, Miss Minchin, the principal of school, welcomed them, and with that, her adventure began. Young girl tries to adapt life in a strict boarding school. Most of the girls' behavior was nice towards Sarah, but some of them didn't like her because she was nice, rich, and very smart. Just because of that, some of people call her princess. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and suddenly 3 years passed. She received a letter from her father. It was about the diamond mines, which they were hoping to find. After some time, a man came to the school and directed a talk with Miss Minchin. The news were bad. Sarah's father was dead, and there were no diamond mines, so Sarah became completely poor. Miss Minchin said, "We should dismiss her from this school." However, the lawyer didn't approve this, and Miss Minchin decided to make Sarah a servant who will serve the school. Sarah was shocked and she couldn't believe it. She became a servant in her own school, and her father was dead. To top it all of that, this happened on the day of her birthday. After that, she was living her life in a terrible condition. She worked like a baker, but at least she had Becky, who was also a servant. They were mad when Sarah, still a rich girl, as I said before, Sarah is so nice enough to not judge who will serve the school. Sarah was shocked and she couldn't believe it. She became a servant in her own school, and her father was dead. To top it all of that, this happened on the day of her birthday. After that, she was living her life in a terrible condition. She worked like a baker, but at least she had Becky, who was also a servant. They were mad when Sarah, still a rich girl, as I said before, Sarah is so nice enough to not judge people by their materiality. One day, Becky came with news. They were about a man who moved to next world. He was a very rich man from India, but he was sick and trying to find a girl because his partner was dead and his partner's money was with him. You are right, he was trying to find Sarah. Man's servant met with Sarah and helped her and Becky with food, clothes, blanket, and other things just because Sarah is a nice little girl. When she went their home to present thanks, they find out it was the girl they have been always looking for. Sarah was surprised and man was happy. He decided to take Sarah and Becky to his home. She became rich again and they lived happily ever after. Actually, this story reminds me of Cinderella with all of the characters and very good heroine. And the main topic is every good person has their happy ends and money isn't everything. If I were to write this book, I will definitely punish Miss Minchin because she has an awful personality and stingy. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed my summary.
Hello there, my name is Zeynep and I'm going to talk about the book called The Coldest Place on the Earth. But instead of I am telling you this, I'm going to take some help from my animation cell. So let's get started.
Hi there, today we're going to talk about this book, The Coldest Place on Earth. Today, South Pole, a place that you can go by planes and you can stay there in a warm station, both winter and summer. However, in 1910, there were nothing like that. Everything started with a race between Scott Robert Falcon and Roald Amundsen. The book starts with in England, Captain Scott and his 16 crew and his ship called the Terra Nova. They were ready to be the first men at the South Pole, which they didn't know. Also, a man from Norway, Roald Amundsen, and his 8 crew and the ship called From were ready to go there too. At the beginning, Amundsen had dogs and Scott had ponies. The journey wasn't easy. Scott has more technology and Amundsen had more strategy. The weather was so cold and the way were so risky. They both lost their crew and dogs and ponies, and some they had to eat their friends. At the end, Amundsen and his Norway flag became the first one at South Pole. He left his flag a tent with food for Scott and his crew because the journey wasn't easy for both these people. After that, Scott and his last 3 crew arrived there, wrote their last letters from their families, and never get back in that tent again. From now on then, the South Pole Station called like Amusement Scott Station to remember